Hi guys, welcome to Love Your Body Fitness. Lacey here. We are going to be workshopping the overhead squat today. So a super technical movement, but really fun once you get the hang of it. So it's going to require a bit of a warm-up, and then we're going to get into that movement. So let's get started with that. For our warm-up, you're going to require a broomstick or a Swiffer or anything about this length that's thin enough that you can put your hands around it. It's really important, as I mentioned, that you warm up our overhead squat because it is such a big movement. So grab onto your broomstick. You want to go nice and long. So those of us who are a little tighter through our shoulders are going to want to go even wider. You're going to go with that distance. Pull your ribs in, pull your shoulders down and back, come up and around, and then come all the way behind. We're going to do 10 of these. Things you want to notice while you're doing this is if you're really tight, if your ribs flare out, you want to try to pull those in and keep going around. As you come up, your shoulders can come up. And we're going to go until we finish 10 of those. Once you finish 10 of these, we're going to keep that exact position we had with our hands on the PVC or on the broomstick. Bring it directly over top of your head. Place your feet where you would for your standard squat. Push into the broomstick and send your hips down and back to the bottom of your squat. Press evenly through your feet to come back up. Really important that you keep all those things we talked about, ribs in, weight evenly through your feet, down to the bottom, and then back up. So we're going to continue that for 10 squats. And then we'll go back to the broomstick pass-through. We're going to get into our second round of our warm-up. Find that grip on your broomstick, up and around for 10 pass-throughs. Remembering all those cues. You might need to slow it down if things do feel a little stickier as you're warming this up. We're halfway there. Head should stay neutral, looking forward the entire time. Last 3. Good. One more. And then let's get into our overhead squats with our broomstick. Set yourself up, set your feet up. It's directly over top of your head, coming down to the bottom. You can even pause in the bottom if you need a little more of a warm up. And then come back up and go for 10. Halfway there. Last 2. We are done with our warm-up. Let's get into the movement with a little more weight. I'm going to be using a barbell, but if you seem to have really tight shoulders and a challenge getting down to the bottom position, even with using the broomstick, that's what you're going to want to stick with. You can still get a really challenging workout with just that alone. So let's talk about first our grip. You're going to want to stay similar with your grip as to what you had with that broomstick that you're using. We're going to bring the weight or the broomstick directly overhead. Press into the bar as the first step. So active shoulders, we're going to feel like we're pushing really hard into the bar. The second thing is you want to think about where your feet are. You want to notice if your feet are too narrow, we're not going to be able to get down to the full depth of our squat. So set yourself up hip width or wider than that. Breath is really important on the overhead squat because you do want to keep tension as you go down to the bottom. So your breath comes in, and then you want to pull in as you're pressing into the bar. Slow descent down to the bottom of your squat. Press into the bar, come back up. Hips down and back. So you don't want to be sending your knees forward. That's one of the big mistakes I really see with the overhead squat. So the hips are back. Continue to ride. Straight down to the bottom. Press your knees out. And come back up. Last one I'm going to show here. You want to make sure that your feet stay flat. A lot of times if we tend to have a bit of tighter ankles, we might come into our toes. We might tip to the inside of our feet. So flat feet. Press knees out. Drive back up. We're going to get into a little workout with our overhead squat. If you are continuing to work with the broomstick or a PVC pipe, you're going to do upwards of 10 to 12 reps each minute. If you're working with weight though, we're going to stick in the 4 to 6 rep range. So every minute for 5 minutes, you're either going to do that 4 to 6 rep range if you're with weight, or 10 to 12 if you're doing it without. So let's get started. Remembering all those cues that we talked about, pressing into the barbell, going down to the bottom, and then driving straight back up. And halfway there, if you're sticking with me for the 6. And that makes 6 there. If you're continuing on with the broomstick, you're going all the way to 10 or 12. We're gonna rest for the remainder of that minute, and then we're gonna repeat that again. Our second round, setting yourself up, utilizing that breath nice and stable for your core. If things are starting to feel a little more smooth, you can speed those overhead squats up a little bit. All right, last one if you're doing 6, and then rest for the remainder of the minute. Overhead squats are one of those things that as you go on, it might start to feel a lot better because it takes so much mobility. It does take quite a bit of time to warm up. So don't be worried if things feel pretty stiff to start off. Just keep working through it, and probably by that 5th round, you'll start to feel a little smoother for each round. All right, we are going in 5 seconds. Get through our 6 or 10 to 12 reps. Two more. Awesome, nice job. If things are feeling pretty easy right now, you can always feel free to add on a few more reps. Or stick with the rep range if it's feeling pretty challenging for you. And last few seconds of rest. Getting ready for round number 4. We are almost there. 3, 2, 1. Last one. All right, so for this last minute, like I said, if things are feeling pretty good, I'm gonna go up to 8 reps, so feel free to join me if things are feeling okay. We're heading into our last round. All right, get ready. Going in 5 seconds. We're going for 8. 3, 2, 1. Three more. Last one. Awesome work. So remember, with your overhead squats, you really do need to practice and work on the mobility in order to maintain that with them, especially if you're wanting to add weight. So keep working on them, keep challenging yourself, and then you'll be overhead squatting a little more weight in no time.